Hi, I'm Rustin Seaman. I'm the senior pastor of the People's Chapel Church and the director of New Vision Renewable Energy. We're currently standing on the property of where the New Vision Village is emerging and will one day give life. It really begins with an aspiration to serve and to help. West Virginia has the highest percentage of its children in the foster care system in the United States. It's also on the same property of our Community Recreation and Multi-Purpose Center, the Epicenter, where community and recreation and life in all of its fullness will be lived out. And it's all on about 8 acres in the Chestnut Ridge community of Barber County in north central West Virginia, a wonderful place to be. As a small community and church and nonprofit, we just knew that there had to be a role that we could play, and so we're trying to figure out what that was. And it didn't take long into the journey of investigating how foster care functioned that we realized that when kids age out of foster care, there really is a kind of a dark hole or a cliff that exists for 18-year-olds because the system is more designed for their care up until the age of 18. And the statistics and the personalities that we met made it compelling for us. 38% of the young people in foster care in West Virginia will be homeless on their 18th birthday. We learned also that 58% of the young men will be in trouble with the law in the first 18 months out after aging out. So having done all that, we just realized, well, what if we as an organization and as a community decided to go deep and understand the needs of that population and then design something really that's focused on what's ideal. Most of the time the patchwork comes and they throw the kids into that rather than starting from scratch and saying, well, what do you need to thrive? And we've all been 18 if you're an adult and you remember, everybody needs a place to lay their head and a nice place that's functional and inspiring. The last thing kids need is a depressing place. They need employment opportunities that are in proximity to where they are. They need a loving community of adults that will encourage them. Need a place to go on Friday and Saturday night and, positive activities. They need health and strength. They need good food and nutrition. All those things seem like they're logical, but in order to put them into one place, we had a lot of opportunity to look at different models around the country. And we found a wonderful one in West Virginia, a group called Stepping Stones that ran a residential foster care program for boys. And we met Gail Manchin. She's the federal co-chair of the Appalachian Regional Commission, and they have an initiative called Inspire. We wanted to get money for planning. So the planning grant that we received for the Inspire project allowed us to travel to 8 or 9 locations around the U.S. We interviewed 51 different leaders of the Department of Health and Human Resources, HUD, trying to figure out what everybody knew. And one of our investigations led us to Springfield, Missouri. There's an organization called Eden Villages. And Eden Villages have created a model of tiny house living, and it's designed for chronically homeless people to have a successful place to live. We met with their leadership, and their director, Nate Shooter, said 70% of all the people that were living in their village had been in homeless care, in foster care. And he said if you understand what it means to lose your family, you'd know why chronic homelessness follows. How many things do you rely on your extended family to help you with? And if you age out of foster care with none of that, you're just homelessness is one of the end results. So we took the model to try and adapt it. We have a very unique aspect of it that came from our relationship with Dr. John McKnight. He's the founder of Asset-Based Community Development. He said the one thing that I wouldn't do is create a village that's only for kids aging out of foster care. Because the number one thing that they need to do is become a part of a larger community, and they need grandparents and they need adult relationships. So we have a fundamental principle of New Vision Village where half of the housing will be for young men in this particular village. The other half will be people with lived experience. It might be school teachers that are single that will actually help be educators. It might be grandmothers that know how to cook chocolate chip cookies and be caregivers. Veterans. There's just a wide variety. We're trying to create an intentional community And literally a young person will live right beside a person with lived experiences. All the front porches will face one another. Isolation won't be an option. Everybody in the village will know if you got up today. Our ideal is also, if young people need skills, is they need a job that teach them real tasks, not just shuffling papers or being there to clean up behind everyone else. So our model incorporates the building of a factory and the building of the houses where this village will one day exist. It'll all be built in our neighborhood. Right here is our beginning point. We'll be starting to build them one at a time, starting in January of 2024. We'll be looking to raise the money and do all that to put everything together. But it really started with a desire to do something to make a difference in the foster care system. And New Vision Village has become a growing and an exciting way for us to express community change. We understand right here, this building will be where the social center will be. There'll be a laundromat. Every kid out front, you gotta learn how to clean your clothes. There'll be a place to cook common meals. You need to learn how to cook. It'll be a place where they can have their medical needs seen. You don't always have to go to a doctor. Sometimes by having an intentional community, we'll have nursing students from WVU. There's just a wide variety of possibilities. There'll be a big screen TV. This is where you'll watch the Super Bowl. The community will be designed to celebrate birthdays. It's Thanksgiving. Where do you go for Christmas? If you're a kid who has no family out of foster care, the holidays are very different. And so our intention for New Vision Village is it will be a place that they'll celebrate while they live here. And if they graduate and go on, they'll always be a part of an alumni, a community that cares about who I am as a person. And we fundamentally believe that if that ecosystem exists, then the success that somebody will have to be a lifelong worker, a lifelong productive neighbor, and a good citizen of our country is a worthy investment. Unfortunately, our country has more prisons and incarcerated people, and it's all directly connected to sometimes failing to invest in some of the young people that have great promise and need a little bit of direction. So we're thankful for what is emerging. There'll be plenty of opportunity to come and participate in activities at New Vision Village. And one of the greatest things about the model is it's very transferable all over the United States. The foster care system in our country is very large, and it's in need of some fresh work. And we believe there's nothing better than the model that we've been inspired by and now have to put on the ground.